you would come on our show back in the day and people didn't know you, and you'd sit at a piano and you would tell these great jokes, but you never winked. You never, shot them a look, like you never ingratiated yourself with the crowd. You just completely went in and they had to accept you as you were. And I think you have to do that for a while in order to have people meet you halfway.
I think you're right. I also think, if comedically, I should say only, I've always thought it's more interesting if you're just doing a stand-up bit like that to have kind of a disdain for the audience. Mm-hmm. I never was like, hi, I'm going to tell some like that friendly. All right, let's tell some. See stand-ups come out like, what's up, Miami? I'm like, God, that's a lot of energy.
You don't want to know how Miami's doing. Miami, I have no concern or interest in you.
I respect the audience, but the relation, and now performers have a real relationship with the audience via social media that too I've never participated in. I don't, that's a weird, I don't know how to do that.
Yeah. I think it's called, you have something that I'm not too familiar with called dignity. And
I could tell you a lot of stories that would go against that.
Well, I mean, we've talked about it. I won't go into it, but I do think that was particularly helpful to you when you did your famous Between Two Ferns interview with Obama, because you're the only person that gave him, I mean, I know that this in any way was just you doing your comedy, but you were so rude as that person. Right. And it's hilarious because I don't think anyone's talked to, certainly a sitting president, or even in this time, no one's talked that way.
Well, all
to
the
a
podcasters
president
that have had the president on now, they don't do their court gesture. They don't do it. They just, they suck up to him.
Yeah.
So the comedians that are podcasters that have had Trump on, they're not doing their job.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not the job of a comedian. You are to challenge.
Yeah.
You are to make uncomfortable. You're not to sit there and fake laugh.
Yep. That
is not the job of the court jester.
Yeah.
Period. So there is a difference. Somebody yesterday was talking to me about that, about, political influence through comedy and all that stuff. I'm more interested in the comedy first.
Me too. Yeah.
No, I'm whatever their motive is. Fine, but the comedy has to come first. I remember when I interviewed Hillary Clinton, and I could tell she didn't want to be there, and I totally get that. I get it. But before we had set that whole thing up, they wrote back, well, you can't bring up those emails. And I go, well, we don't have to do the interview. That's fine. We won't do it.
Yeah.
When you tell powerful people no, it's crazy. They were like, okay, we'll do it. Well, you can ask. Yeah. Because it's not that important to me to do it the way they want to do it. You have to, if you're going to come in a comedy, you got to do the way we want to do it.
Also, I see this all the time, and I've seen it for years and years and years and years. People not understanding that if they go to the supposedly vulnerable place and have a sense of humor about it, it is magical for them. People see they have a sense of humor. They see that they can take a joke. I mean, no one walked away from your interview with Obama and thought, wow, you really showed him. He got to be hilarious. He sat there and entered your world of, being intentionally ignorant about who he is, what he does, cutting him off, being insanely rude, and gave it back to you in equal measure. And you looked at it and you thought, this is a great piece of comedy. And I know it reflects well back on the president. And our current president would do well to understand that, if he let himself be the butt of the joke,
it's impossible.
It's humanizing. I know it is impossible.
You wouldn't do it with him.
It wouldn't work. No.
It wouldn't work.
I'm just saying in an alternate universe, if we're talking about a different human being, they would see, I think that there's this misconception that, the media just wants to go after conservatives, and they don't understand that everyone benefits when they laugh at themselves.
That's right.
Period.
Yes.
Everyone wins.
Yes.
If you laugh at yourself, it humanizes you, and like pheromones are released, and humans think that's a good human who And when you refuse to let that happen, that's not projecting strength, it's projecting weakness.
I agree 100%. But there's also the math of comedy to me sometimes where the punching down that the right seems to do something, and I don't want to get political here, but that's not as funny to me as taking on the powerful. Like the math of it doesn't work for me. Like to take on some marginalized people, make fun of that. Listen, I'm all for humor. I can defend it, but that mathematically, so that's why you don't see a lot of comedy that comes out of the right. It's hard to do. I'm not suggesting you cannot. It's just difficult to do because of the dynamics.
Yeah.
Greg Gutfeld.
Oh,
What a hilarious comment.
You got him. I don't know if they'll show up to work again. I always love imagining these people being completely unhinged by a comment on a podcast or, someone did a sketch about them on SNL and they're just completely unhinged.
Oh, I'm sure.
And they can no longer show their face.
That's all for clicks, though.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's fake.
Well, that's
fake.
boring. The whole everyone
commenting on everything.
And everyone has to wait. Did Sabrina Carpenter just slightly misspeak at a performance at Coachella? Or can we make that into something? Yes, we can. And then she'll apologize. And I think she's a fantastic performer. She makes a lot of people happy. I actually don't think she did anything wrong. She couldn't hear what the person in the audience was saying. There was no harm, no foul here, but people got a 24-hour news cycle out of it. And it's just, it's stupid.
It's strange. The other thought of that, too, is it's interesting. People from the right, or whatever you want to say, they're always like, shut up, entertainers, you're just entertainers. And I kind of get that because I'm from the South and, But I always think, but you guys say that to us entertainers, but you elect the entertainers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Clint Eastwood, Donald Trump, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Fred Thompson, Gopher from The Love Boat. I could go on.
His name's Fred Grandy.
I could go on and on.
You would know.
Sonny Bono. it goes on and on.
Yeah.
So it's always interesting to me that they point that out. But then they're the ones that hire or elect the entertainers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think even more so than the other side. So I don't know. It's very, very odd, all of it. But it was a good run.
Oh, no. Oh,
we're wrapping it up.
Are we calling it?
We're calling it. Well, 250 is a good time to call it.
Oh, man.
Yes, 250, 200. I don't feel is anybody celebrating?
I think they're going to, well, there's plans to build giant monuments. I think the Triumphal Arch was going to be for the 250th,
good.
I think.
Okay, good.
We just got to get that thing built.
This is going to sound controversial, and I don't want to. When Trump did that Jesus thing, I was the turning point for me. I was like, I kind of like him.
Like him?
Yeah.
Oh, you okay.
What do you think? Am I off?
But
No, I don't think you're off at all.
Jesus. He was a doctor.
Right.
Well, his excuse was I was a doctor who wears a robe and a red sash and has like a halo
light behind him.
He was a Red Cross worker.
Oh man, he's a very good nightclub comic.